Welcome to the Disney vs. Battles, a series focusing on characters from the Disney universe, analyzing their combat skills and abilities in a side-by-side comparison to determine who would win in a hypothetical battle. Today's matchup will be Kim Possible, the secret agent hero, versus Fa Mulan, the fearless Chinese warrior. For this battle, I will be observing both combatants at the age of 16. For Kim, this will be during the events of her third season. For Mulan, this will be during the events of Mulan 2. I will not be using anything from any video game or any other non-canon sources. With all that out the way, let's begin. Born in the fictional town of Middleton, USA, Kimberly Ann Possible is a teen superhero / secret agent and daughter of rocket scientist James Possible and his wife, Anne, a respected neurosurgeon. In her late preteen to early teen years, determined to supplement her allowance, Kim decided to start her own babysitting business and set up her website, kimpossible.com, along with the slogan, "I can do anything." Not long after the site goes live, a wealthy man named Mr. McHenry, who is seeking the help of Team Impossible, contacts Kim by mistake and asks her for help. Using her skills in gymnastics, Kim manages to maneuver around laser beams and disables the alarm, rescuing Mr. McHenry in the process. As a result of his typing error, in addition to her success on the first mission in the field, Kim became famous for her heroics, catching the attention of governments and royalty. Due to the nature of her adventures, Kim has made a plethora of deadly enemies such as Dr. Draken, Shigo, and Duff Killigan, to name a few. Over the course of her high school career, Kim has fought against a group of cyborgs, defeated martial arts masters, taken on superpowered villains, mad scientists, traveled through time, and saved the world on a consistent basis. When Han China is invaded by Shan Yu and the Huns, the Chinese emperor calls for the mobilization of soldiers, enlisting the aid of one man from each family. After discovering her elderly father, Fa Zhao, has been drafted into the Chinese army, Fa Mulan disguises herself as a man in order to take his place. As her family becomes aware of her departure, Mulan's grandmother prays to their ancestors in an attempt to provide her with safety. The ancestors call upon the Great Stone Dragon to watch over Fa Mulan. However, he fails to be reanimated into existence. As a result, Mushu, a small dragon and former guardian spirit, takes on the responsibility of protecting Mulan. In her attempts to impersonate a man, Mulan is misguided by Mushu's advice on how men behave, which causes problems for her at the training camp. Despite her actions causing a ruckus between her fellow trainees, General Li Shang was able to effectively mold them into skilled warriors. Hoping to help the young woman succeed, Mushu creates a fake message from Shang's father, ordering him to follow his troops into the mountains. When the troops arrive to meet with General Li, they soon discover his men were killed by the Huns. As the soldiers leave the mountains in despair, they are ambushed by the Huns. However, Mulan manages to grab a hold of a cannon, using it to cause an avalanche, burying most of their enemies in the process. Due to events spinning out of his control, Shan Yu slices her in the chest. As a result, Mulan's cover is blown. Instead of executing her for masquerading as a man, Captain Shang allows her to live, but expels her from the army. As Captain Shang and the rest of his troops head to the Imperial City to report the death of the Huns, Mulan discovers that many of them, including Shan Yu, actually survived. The young warrior attempts to warn Shang about Shan Yu's survival, but he refuses to listen. Because of this, the Huns infiltrate the Imperial City and successfully capture the Emperor. After defeating the Huns in battle with her former troops, Mulan lures Shan onto the roof, where she then begins to engage him in combat. Near the end of the battle, Mushu fires a bundle of fireworks at Shan Yu. The rockets hit Shan and explode, killing him in the process. Emerging victorious, Mulan is honored by the Emperor as well as the people of China. Possessing a wide array of gadgets at her disposal, Kim is highly skilled in fencing, boat jutsu, and has learned 16 different forms of kung fu. As a martial artist, Possible is a cunning strategist, using her environment to her advantage. Kim also has experience in the field of espionage, fighting superpowered villains on a frequent basis. When pushed into a defensive posture, Kim relies on acrobatic maneuvers to evade her opponents. After receiving military training from the Chinese army, Mulan mastered a variety of martial art techniques, including Tessin Jutsu and Bojutsu. In battle, Mulan is an extremely observant tactical fighter who is capable of improvising a number of different methods to overcome her adversaries. Mulan wields the Jian, a double-edged straight sword demonstrating an expert level of skill. Possessing astounding accuracy, Mulan is shown to be proficient in the use of a bow and arrow. In terms of their weaponry, both combatants are extremely skilled. Mulan's mastery over the Jian blade, in addition to her marksmanship with a bow and arrow, gives her an advantage, but Kim's gadgets provide her an advantage in the form of advanced technology. Much of the outcome pertaining to who has the superior edge depends on what kind of technology Possible is bringing to the table. Due to a lack of consistency with Kim's on-hand gadgets, aside from her grapple gun and communicator, it's hard to determine which fighter has a superior edge. In combat, Mulan and Kim use very different methods to defeat their opponents. On the battlefield, Kim is an offensive fighter who develops a contemporary strategy by improvising her acrobatic abilities to catch her enemies off guard. In contrast to Kim's methods, Mulan is more of a defensive warrior, waiting for an opening to exploit her opponent's weaknesses, using her tactical insight as she weathers the storm. Despite their difference in strategy, both women appear to be equal in terms of their tactical ingenuity. When comparing their skills in hand-to-hand combat, Mulan is a better trained, more disciplined fighter, based on receiving rigorous military training, specifically made for men. However, Kim has 4 years of experience with 16 different fighting styles, and has rivaled enemies who were above her level of skill. Due to her versatility and possible familiarity with some of Mulan's techniques, Kim would undoubtedly be able to match her abilities in martial arts, but neither of them has a clear advantage over the other. I declare Mulan and Kim equals in combat skills and weaponry. Kim possesses an incredible amount of physical strength and has been shown to punch or kick with enough force to knock her enemies off their feet. Kim is also capable of knocking her opponents unconscious with one blow. In addition to her possession of peak human strength, Possible has been able to block attacks from Shigo, an experienced, powerful villain who has the ability to emit green energy blasts with enough concussive force to break concrete. Kim is capable of moving at speeds beyond the average capacity of a normal human, placing her among the ranks of an Olympic-level athlete in peak physical condition. Through the years of cheerleading and honing her skills in gymnastics, Kim is extremely agile, pulling off death-defying acrobatics in the midst of battle, in addition to dodging laser fire with ease. Prior to her training in gymnastics and martial arts, Possible was capable of somersaulting through laser beams without any apparent effort. Kim has displayed an impressive level of durability, taking blows from Shigo's concussive energy blast in addition to her superior strength. Fa Mulan has displayed an exceptional level of physical strength. Based on the training montage in her first animated feature, it is implied that she is capable of breaking thick, large stone or cinder blocks, although she herself was not seen actually doing this. However, Mulan as well as her fellow soldiers went through the same training regimens. Mulan is remarkably fast, moving at speed slightly above the average abilities of what most humans are capable of achieving, which gives her the rank of an Olympic-level athlete. Fa Mulan is incredibly agile and has been able to dodge fireworks, arrows, and some explosives, in addition to leaping on extremely narrow logs protruding from a lake. Although Kim displayed some impressive feats of strength, Mulan has proven she is physically superior, using a sufficient measure of destructive force to break thick stone plates. In spite of the fact she was able to block an opponent who has similar abilities, Possible does not have enough power to cause the same amount of damage. In terms of their speed, both combatants were extremely comparable, with neither of them having a greater advantage over the other. However, KP is much more agile and fluid in her movements, incorporating a number of acrobatic maneuvers. Despite her best efforts, the Chinese warrior isn't capable of dodging anything close to the speed of laser blasts, nor has she been able to reach the same level of precision and accuracy as Possible. When it comes to their durability, the heroine of China is strong enough to withstand punishment from men who are stronger than herself, and has arguably gone through a much more rigorous training process. But the secret agent is able to endure attacks from super-powered enemies on a daily basis. Kim Possible gets the edge in powers and abilities. After comparing the statistical analysis of both combatants' abilities and their fighting skills, a fight between these ladies would not be determined by their weapons. In fact, they would most likely remove them in favor of hand-to-hand combat. This battle would come down to Mulan's combat skills and physical strength against Kim's agility, endurance, and combat skills. Flipping into action, Kim would immediately take an offensive approach, opening the fight with a flurry of kicks. Taking her assault head-on, the heroine of China would rely on defensive measures, blocking her adversary's every move, retaliating with her own attacks. However, KP evades with the aid of her acrobatic skills. The battle would rage on for a lengthy period of time, with both women countering the other's moves. Eventually, Mulan manages to land several hits after finding a few weak spots. Bouncing back into the fight, Possible changes her strategy. Using her superior agility, Possible mounts an assault and easily outmaneuvers the Chinese warrior. Although Mulan is capable of withstanding Kim's wrath, eventually KP would overwhelm the warrior. I declare Kim Possible the secret agent vigilante superhero, the victor. This has been another edition of the Disney vs. Battle series. I have been your host, the Mighty Quan. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks for watching.